So the different requirements for this semester, package one, start with registering your group on Involved at TU. So this happens at the beginning of each semester, and it's important to make sure that your group is receiving updates from our office. You've already received an email with these steps at the beginning of the semester. You'll get multiple reminder emails. You should have already done this, and it only takes about 10 minutes. But when you complete this form, it will update whoever does it to the primary contact for the group, which that will make sure you're the person getting the proper emails and not like a previous president or somebody else that shouldn't, so you can stay updated. The deadline is March 1st, but really there's no reason to wait on this. So if you can, please try to complete it ASAP. Sorry, I'm going this way. The second is the advisor form. As I mentioned, this should have been done only in the fall. So if you haven't done it, you will be missing a checkbox on the Google Doc. Marlena and I do check these, so you will get contacted if you haven't completed this. But the advisor form, that's once a year. That lets us know that your advisor still works here and they still want an advisor group. Constitution, this is uploaded when your organization is created. So every group should already have one. If you need to update your constitution for any reason, you can, but a requirement for remaining a group, you have to have like student organization, how your group runs, how you settle election disputes, what you do if an officer is not doing their job. All that information is housed in your constitution. And then the last thing is the student group summit. So this is where we do our leadership training for student group officers, and especially this year, but like any policy updates that affect student groups. So we do them once at the beginning of each semester, and we always email out the dates to the Involved TU primary contacts. So assuming you do those couple of 4 things, you will receive all of the following benefits I'm going to talk about. The biggest one, especially in normal years, is room reservations. So this lets you host meetings and events on campus for the most part free of charge. They do charge for tech equipment, but like tables, chairs, those types of things, you can get space on campus without having to pay any sort of rental fee as a student group. The main thing to note is space is limited. Like we do have over 200 groups. So like requesting early is really important to make sure you can get your events and meetings on the dates that you want. Now realize with COVID, everything's a little bit different right now. So we're encouraging students to think about which events need to be in person versus can be done virtually. But assuming you're interested in doing any in-person meetings or events, you must complete the new COVID operating procedures assessment that is on Blackboard, in addition to the normal student training to planning events video. Both these are Blackboard assessments, and we'll make sure we send both these out. SGA Senator. So you also receive an SGA Senator as a club. This is somebody who's there to assist your organization. If you're requesting any sort of funding as a group, they will be the ones that sponsor your finance bills. And they're just, there's 200 and something groups, and there's, me, Marlena, and Maya are 3 people. So this is your way of having another point of contact that's more dedicated to just a small number of groups. Maya is going to be working to email out the list of senator assignments. They've had some resignations and turnover in SGA. So if you haven't heard from your senator already, just hold tight for a little bit, but she's hoping to email it out in the next week. But if you need to contact Maya right away because you're trying to get something pressing done or you have questions for your senator, her email is included at the end of this presentation, so you can kind of touch base with her there. Then the involvement fair. So this year it was virtual for this semester. We're hoping, and I'm crossing fingers, we'll be returning to in-person for next semester. It's possible we'll hold additional fairs. So the involvement fair is obviously a great opportunity to advertise your club. So as a student club, you're eligible to participate. Non-student club, so just general students can't get tables or be involved in the virtual fairs. So this is one of the big benefits of being a club, where you can advertise yourself as an official group on campus. Involved at TU, every group gets an Involved at TU page, lets you post upcoming events, save your documents. This is the official listing of all the clubs, so you get the benefit of being an official group on campus. If you do request, we offer WordPress sites that you can request through the Towson. There's a form on Involved at TU. It's called WordPress and email alias request form. So if you're interested in this for your club, specifically with the email alias, like homecoming@towson.edu, I have to try to explain this because a lot of groups, it's not an email account. What it does is anytime you email
homecoming at towson.edu, you can have it reroute to any individuals you would like, let's say your whole executive board. But you can't actually send outgoing mail from it. But what's kind of nice is if you have that, then if you're BSU at towson.edu, then if your officers change, you can just switch who it reroutes to, so that you can use that same email alias on like all your marketing. The forms for this are available online under Involved at TU. All right, posting privileges on campus. So you're also allowed to advertise on campus. So right now, the process for posting on campus has not changed because of COVID. The main thing is that anytime you want to put flyers up on campus, you have to get them stamped by the SGA office in 226. I'm not sure, we might be able to somehow digitize this, but I haven't come up with a way to do it. But if we come up with a way to make it simpler for you to get your flyers approved, we might try to do that for you, so it's less people having to come in physically. But for right now, the process is you need to get your flyers stamped before you put them up. Certain areas like the Union, you can put them on the stairwells, on the clips. You can do that yourself. The info desk can put them up on the bulletin boards for you. For academic buildings, I'll hold off on that one for just a second. Residence halls is super easy. You just take 20 copies of your stamped flyers to the HRL main office in Marshall Hall, and they'll actually put them up in all the residence halls, one per building for you. Academic buildings is where it gets tricky. You have to follow the specific building procedures for that specific building. And I apologize, none of them are the same. Like every academic building does them differently. So you can either look up the guidelines online, or you can just walk in or ask at the dean's office, like, hey, I'm trying to put up flyers. Like, what do I need to do to make sure I'm in compliance with your building code? 2 buildings as examples for this. This is the Center for the Arts and the Liberal Arts buildings posting requirements. So you'll have this in your you'll have this when you do your when I send you the links. So there you go. Heather's putting the link in the chat. She's actually the building manager for Center for the Arts. So and her information is actually right here on the slide. So this is a great way if you're trying to get your events up here. It's important that you follow the specific building requirements. Specifically, if you notice just between these two, like the Center for the Arts says posting areas are only on the display rails through the buildings, not on the tack boards. But if you look at CLA, they only let you post on the tack boards. So it's easy to make mistakes. You have to be like pretty careful to make sure that you're following the specific policies for those buildings. All right, and then probably more relevant right now is electronic advertising. So you do get access to these various options as a group. You can put events on the master event calendar, events.towson.edu. In TU Today, you can make announcements. Involved at TU is even more important this year, though, because you have to use it and students have to RSVP for your events. So, while I encourage you to utilize all the other resources listed on this slide, specifically, like you need to be focusing on putting your events on Involved at TU because it is a requirement for actually hosting events right now. All right, then last package 1 benefit is special fund requests. So this is money that's set aside by SGA to encourage groups to work together. There's 2 different funds. There's the Just Do It Fund, which is available for any student or student organization that's bringing a new innovative idea for an event to campus, and then the Collaboration Fund for groups like working together. Now, I'm not 100% sure how much money are in these funds for this year with COVID and everything, but in a normal year, these are the 2 big funds that are available to groups that are in package 1. But due to COVID-19 restrictions, I think it's also gonna be hard to do some of these larger collaborative events. So depending on what you're trying, because right now, like the event capacities are 10. So depending on how things go, like these are there, the forms can be found on Involved at TU under campus links, but just know that right now, a lot of things are pretty limited. All right. Allison asked a question, and I'll take any other questions in the chat if you'd like to type them for right now. Do people have to RSVP for online events? Heather kind of answered it. Yes, you can. It's required for in-person, but it's optional for online if you'd like to have people RSVP. If you're doing an online event, you can leave the capacity in that video we showed in the main session. You can leave that as, not, you can basically set it up so you don't have to have a limit. So, you don't have to cut it off at 10 people. So if you'd like to have people RSVP, you can, but it's not required. And yeah, you don't have to scan people in online. Any other questions about package 1? This one's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so for package 2, you'll notice the first thing that says for package 2, this goes back to like each package building on the one before it. To be a package 2 organization, you will have to complete all the package 1 requirements plus 2 additional things. And those 2 things are obtain 50 Tiger points. I'll kind of walk through what is a Tiger point. And you have to meet virtually with your SGA senator. Assuming you do those 2 things, you'll get access to the things on the right-hand side, which is 2 supplemental requests from SGA. You can request a mailbox in the SGA office for your organization, and the ability to request free ad space in the Tower Light from SGA when it's available. All right, so what is Tiger Points? So Tiger Points are our new kind of way of letting you guys as student organizations pick how you want to earn credit for the Tiger Stripes program. Previously, these 50 Tiger Points were required for you to do 50 hours of community service. So we've kind of taken it out of just only being community service to give you more options. And really, I'm doing this for a number of reasons, but the biggest one is to prioritize safety and the comfortability of your group. Maybe not everybody feels comfortable going in person to complete community service. Maybe it's really difficult for you to find virtual community service projects and you'd rather spend your time in other ways. So we've kind of shifted some things around to make this easier for you. That's not to say we're trying to discourage community service. If you'd like to do service, you will still have that option. However, you're going to be given additional options on top of it. All right. So you can earn Tiger Points in really one of 2 primary ways. The first way is through community service or philanthropy. And this is basically unchanged from how we've normally done things. You can get 1 hour of service for every hour of service that your organization, like a member in your group, completes, and it's logged on involved to you, you will get 1 Tiger Point. Or if you donate $20 of either goods or services, or not services, goods or funds to a charity or nonprofit, that is worth a Tiger Point. That's unchanged really from how we've done things previously. The second option is by participating in leadership trainings. So there's 2 different ways you can do this really. The first is either having a member attend a leadership lunch or a Tigers Lead workshop. For every member that attends one of those, you can receive 20 Tiger Points. And the options for these, they're both virtual and in person. So you will have options of whether you'd be rather come in person or do it online. That's up to you. And the second is new for this semester, is 50 Tiger Points. So this would actually do your whole package 2 requirements if you had 1 member of your group do it. Is have a member participate in the Leadership Living and Possibility program. And I'll show you that in a future slide in just a second. Additionally, what we're actually giving groups, and I emailed this out at the end of last semester, if your organization attended the Student Group Leadership Summit last fall and you signed in, you will get a bonus 20 Tiger Points for this semester. And if your organization went to the student organization town halls, both of them last semester, that's worth 20 additional Tiger Points as well. So you will have, potentially if you went to all 3 of those meetings last semester, you're starting this semester at 40 Tiger Points. You'd only need 10 more to actually complete the package 2 requirements. Faradat asked a question, will you be sending in emails out for the packages like last semester as to deadlines and requirements? Yes, absolutely. I will share all of this information, the PowerPoint plus the information in a Word document as well as in email text. So we don't want people to miss it. So you will receive that. Oops, sorry. So let's talk really quickly about submitting community service and these different leadership workshops. The main thing is the distinction between community service and philanthropy. So we define community service as actively serving a community need. This could be cleaning up a stream, helping at a soup kitchen, anything where it's like an active, like you're actively serving a community in need will count as service. Philanthropy is whenever you donate goods or money to a charitable cause. So, if you're donating money to the American Cancer Society as an organization, for every $20 that you donate will count. So for philanthropy, there is a philanthropy form under campus links on Involved at TU. You just fill that out. It will ask you for a receipt or an email that you can upload as like proof of your donation. And we just add that amount of numbers for you. For more traditional community service where you're actively serving a community in need, this you need to log by the members or by an officer of your group under your organization's page. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this shows how you can add service to your Involved at TU page. So you need to make sure you log your hours to get credit. So hours are logged for each individual student. So if you have For students that go to an event and they work, 6 hours helping with a stream cleanup, that would be 24 hours or 26 or 24 Tiger points for your organization. The deadline for the service hour submissions is May 11th. That date's going to come up a pretty good amount in the presentation. Aziz, I'll address your question. Is my organization wasn't created until after Leadership Summit last semester. Are there any ways to get those points for going to the events this semester? So these, the way it works is everything you do for this semester, yes, you can start earning points. It's going to change your status for next semester. So everything that we're talking about right now, it will count for credit that you'll be able to apply to next semester. And your package will change at the end of this semester. So if you do everything for package 2, you do the 50 hours of service, and you did meet virtually with your senator, that will mean that you'll be a package 2 group for next semester.
Can you clarify the last sub bullet on that last slide? The list the activity and verification contact's name.
Sure. So let's say you're working with a food bank, and you're there sorting food. You would put the service coordinator or whoever you're working with from the nonprofit, like their email address, so that we can verify that your service was completed there. Does that make sense? So anybody that you're working with, if you're working with like an on-campus event, let's say like the big event is a good example of that, that's put on by Civic Engagement, you can list like the event organizers for that event as the verification, who could show like, oh yeah, that group was here, they signed it.
So how would you, like you said, like a stream cleanup, if like that's a voluntary thing that you just go do by yourself, how would you verify that?
So for something like that, especially if you're like, you would have to work with somebody like, well, I guess it would really depend, but I guess like, let's say you're working with like the Glen or somewhere. If you have a space that you're like notifying that you're showing up to, you can do that. The other option would be is you can put your own email address for that, and or your advisors even, and send your advisor just like a picture of you guys like actually participating in the event.
Oh, excuse me. So we won't go to the next level, like 3 or 4, until the following semester, even if we complete all the requirements?
Correct. So basically packages, yes, that's a great question. Packages are assessed at the end of each semester. You can't, it's not, you won't move from 1 to 2 like an instantaneous thing. You basically get the full semester, and then after the deadline date, this semester is May 11th, you will get assigned a new package for the upcoming semester.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, so here are the leadership workshops options for this semester. You can see on the left side, leadership lunches. There's 4 dates with specific topics. One thing to note is that if you choose to attend that virtually, you get a $10 gift card to Chipotle. So that's a pretty big incentive for that, in addition to receiving your 20 Tiger points. And then on the right-hand side, there's Tigers Lead. And there's so many workshops for Tigers Lead that you will need to RSVP and go to Involved at TU. But all of the Tigers Lead workshops are posted on Involved at TU, and you can RSVP there. So either of those options for receiving credit. You can also request a workshop for your organization. If you'd like to email Ashley, she can set that up for your group. That's worth 20 points as well. And then I mentioned this earlier, the leadership program for this semester, you can receive 50 Tiger points. Potentially, you could receive a lot more if you have more than 1 member complete it. But it is a 4 workshop series, and you must go to all 4 to receive the 50 points. So you have to be able to commit to doing these 4 dates at the time that's listed 2 to 4. But this is a really good opportunity. Leadership is one of my absolute favorite leadership development programs that I've ever been a part of. So if you have the opportunity to do this and it fits for your schedule, or you can recommend other members of your group to participate, you can get up to 50 points until the program's full. I forget how many students they're taking for this, but the registration date's coming up. It's February 14th. So this is something that if you want to register for, make sure you do it. I would say soon. All right. And then the only other requirement past the Tiger points is that you must meet in this semester virtually with your SGA senator. And really, this is about trying to strengthen the communication between SGA and student organizations. And it's even more important this year because we're not getting to see each other quite as much. So this is a way for you to kind of have a contact that you actually know, who you can go to for assistance with your club and help you think through some of the challenges of working through things virtually. There's a number of things that the senator, you can use this meeting to do, discussing how SGA can assist your group, budgeting guidance, planning for Tiger Stripes, answering questions. But this is really supposed to be a meeting that's supposed to help you. The deadline for this meeting is March 1st, but I would recommend do not wait till February 28th to try to set up this meeting. You need to probably set up the meeting in the next 2 weeks so that you have enough time to actually meet with your senator. And I mentioned Maya's going to email out to everybody who your senators are, but if you're unsure and you're trying to get this done right away, you can email Maya. Her email's right there. It'll come up later as well. All the meetings this year are going to be done virtually though, so you won't be able to meet them physically in person. Okay, if you do those two things, the 50 Tiger points and meet with your senator virtually, you will have completed everything for package 2. One of the big benefits that you will get is you will be able to request up to 2 supplemental requests from the SGA. So most notably, these are basically one-time requests for funds for a single activity. But while this presentation is not going to go over in detail how SGA does their funding, a single activity can encompass multiple different accounts that the SGA will fund your group for. So if you were planning an event, it can pay for the food from Black and Gold this semester for the people that are coming, the microphone and tech setup that you might need for the event. Maybe you're using a student DJ and you do a contract, can't bring an external one this semester, and you need flyers. All of those things for a single event could be one supplemental request and placed through the SGA. Your senator would be the one that would actually submit the request. So the best way to do it would be to contact your senator. They can help you go through writing the finance. They'll write the physical finance bill for you, and then you will have to provide research, and they can walk you through this of the costs of your request, so that it'll go to the official SGA to be voted on. The funds in the supplemental account are limited though, so it's not guaranteed that you'll be able to receive the funds, especially depending on how much money SGA has spent. I don't know the status of current accounts for this year, with COVID and everything, but just know that the sooner you put your request in, the more likely you are to be able to get it. One big, you can see it in gold here, caveat is that SGA's funding is only available for undergraduate student organizations. And that's because only undergraduate students pay fees to the SGA. They don't collect any money from graduate students. So graduate student fee groups or graduate students do pay fees to the Graduate Student Association, and there is limited funding available through the GSA. But just know that it's very limited compared to the student organization funding, because the GSA uses a lot of those funds for student travel, for conferences and things like that. So depending on your situation, it might be a little bit different. Additionally, if you need a mailbox in the SGA office, you can receive one if you're a package 2 group to receive packages or other items. Email Vicki Young if you'd like to try to get a mailbox if you're a package 2. And then you can receive ads in the Tower Light, and there is a form for a marketing request form under campus links if you'd like to request that. So that is package 2. And I'm going to look back through the chat. Aziz asked the question, can an organization jump from 1 to 3? Yes, you can jump from 1 to 4, or you can jump from 4 to 1. There is no, you don't have to go step by step in moving through the packages. As long as you complete the requirements for that package, the next semester, you will be whatever you did. Oh, I see Marlene already answered that too. Sorry about that. All right, Tiger Stripes package 3. So for this, you have to complete all the package 2 requirements. Tiger points, obtain 100 points. This isn't 100 plus 50, it's just 100. Have at least one officer attend and sign in at one of the virtual student organization town halls, and then hold one event either on campus or virtually open to all students, and then complete all SGA funding requirements. If you do those couple things, you will be able to receive the things on the right-hand side, which include the ability to request a budget for next semester for these 3 accounts, priority placement on your table at the involvement fair, and the number of supplementals you can get increases from 2 to 3. So for the town halls, we're going to have 2 of them this semester. One will be on March 23rd from 3 to 4. The other will be on April 21st from 4 to 5. if you were at any of the town halls last semester, can you type in the chat if you were there? These are not traditional like presentations such as this one. We use this time for us to collect feedback from you guys as student organizations and for us to try to figure out how we can better support you. So it's a little bit different of a vibe than like a straight up presentation like you're getting right now. So this is our chance for us to have your feedback and figuring out ways we can be more effective in helping you. If there are updates specifically this semester with COVID, I'll make sure that we spend time at the town halls on those, and we'll almost always leave some amount of time for Q&A. So if you have questions and things, we're making sure we're addressing those. Make sure that when you go to these though, that your officer, whoever is going for your group, signs in so that you receive credit for them, because we won't get you credit otherwise. And it's great to see so many people that went. Okay, and then the last one, and somebody was asking a question about this earlier, is hosting an event. You have the option. You can either do it as an on-campus event or a virtual event. I think most people understand this. You have to, especially if you're doing an in-person event this semester, it has to be posted on Involved@TU before it'll even be approved. But if you're doing a virtual event, it's still very important to put it on Involved@TU, because if you don't, you won't get credit. So that's how we mark off that we know that your group did actually host the event. So make sure it's posted on Involved@TU. The steps for how to do it are here on the slide. You must post your event prior to May 11th. If the event happens after May 11th, that's fine, but it needs to be posted prior to it. All right, and then complete the SJ funding requirements. This is optional and is only required if you're requesting a budget. You can still be eligible for everything else for package 3 without doing this. There's a separate process, and the whole treasurer's workshop goes over this, so I won't cover it in this specific session. But if you want to receive a budget for next semester, you have to have another member, preferably your treasurer, go through the treasurer's workshop. And Belly, who is the SJ treasurer, her email's down here if you need help getting in touch with her about that process. All right, package 3 benefits. One of the big ones is you can receive a budget from the SGA, and there's 3 separate accounts here: activity, equipment, and advertising. I'm not going to go over the specifics of these. Just know that some of this stuff might be a little bit amended based on the current state of COVID. So what they will and will not fund might have shifted slightly. So as you're doing your request for next semester, I don't know really what's going to happen and what SJ will or won't fund for next semester. I know, for example, right now, SJ is not funding off-campus travel. So, even though there's a travel account for this semester, you can't utilize those funds. You can request funds for travel for next semester, but I don't know if that will or will not be accepted. Priority placement for your table at the involvement fair. This basically means your group gets the best spot that we have available. If you're a package 3 or 4 groups, we will group them in the most prominent and most highly trafficked location. Also, just note though, this is all contingent upon us being able to do things in person, but assuming we're able to have an in-person involvement fair, like I hope we will for next semester, those groups that are package 3 or 4 will get this benefit. All right, are there any questions for package 3? Otherwise, I'm going to hop into package 4. All right, package 4 doesn't change too much. Specifically, the Tiger Points changes from 100 to 150. You have to have an officer attend both virtual town halls. So that's those 2 dates that I listed earlier. Do you have a question? Sorry.
Sorry, that was an accident.
Okay. Have at least 2 of the officers update and upload your student engagement records. And assuming you do that, you'll get the things on the right-hand side of the screen here. Yes, I have it on a following slide, Miriam, so don't worry, it's coming back up for the dates. Student engagement record, I won't go over this in detail, but it's basically a co-curricular resume for you personally as a student. The instructions for how to update it are listed here. You have to have 2 officers update your engagement records, and then you would upload them to a specific link that's under campus links on Involved@TU. So just make sure you follow the steps here. I won't go over this into great detail. One of the benefits it mentions here is the travel account being added as part of your benefits for being package 4. Like I said, for right now, travel is suspended. I don't for SGA funding. However, potentially for next semester, this could change. So you would get this benefit, but I can't promise anything All right, and then other benefits, a lot of this is up in the air, unfortunately, because I don't know the current direction that ECS is going to take with room reservations for next fall. However, you know, I can't promise that this will be offered. However, assuming that it can be, I will give you these groups that are packaged for this benefit, assuming that the process they're going to do makes sense and they're able to incorporate it. Additionally, or I should say lastly, you will be able to get up to $150 for a banner for your organization. This is a once per year benefit. So as long as you're packaged for one semester or the other, Art Services can create this. They're located on the first floor in Paws of the University Union, but they will design and print your banner for you. And then the second one is up to $250 worth of food that can be used to help you recruit new members. Once again, this is once per year. Currently, there's no food waivers, so the food has to come through Black and Gold right now. But for the fall, could potentially be different when your packages would change. All right, so this is everything for package 4. I'm just going to talk really quickly and wrap up, and then if there are any final questions, if I have a minute, I will take them. So if you look, there's a publicly viewable Google document. I will show you that at the very end of what that looks like on Involved at TU. So it's really important that you and your other officers are periodically checking to make sure that you receive credit for the items that you've done. So for example, today we're at the summit. Marlena will be going in and checking off every group that was here to make sure that you got credit. If you see everybody else's X's for the summit and yours is missing, you need to let us know so that we can go back and look at why you didn't get credit. And sometimes it's our mistake. We're human, we make errors. We might have checked off a row above or below, or maybe you signed in under the wrong organization, or you forgot to sign in. We need to know beforehand so that we can do it. There's 2 main deadline dates. You need to definitely make sure that you have all the appropriate X's. You'll get multiple reminder emails about this before those dates to make sure you get the proper credit. These are the deadlines. So for the person that was asking before, the Student Org Town Halls dates are listed there. The summit's happening today. The Treasurer's Workshop's today. Re-registering your club and meeting virtually with your senator is due March 1st. And then pretty much everything else is due on May 11th. So all the Tiger Points, student engagement records, hosting your event on Involved at TU and all that is due by May 11th. So if you can only remember 2 days, March 1st, May 11th, there will be reminder emails about all of these dates as they get closer. Some things that groups typically make mistakes on is waiting to the very end or not checking their progress on the Google Doc. Don't let this be you. Make sure you're staying on top of submitting your items. And then May 11th, what is going to happen? So this was to answer someone's question earlier about can you move up earlier? The answer for that is no, because on May 12th, what is going to happen is myself, Marlena, Maya, and other members of SGA, we will meet to go through every organization individually on the Google Doc and assign your package for the upcoming fall 2021 semester. Honestly, there's no magic to this process. We literally go to the Google Doc and we just go across the columns until we don't see an X. So at some point, there's not going to be an X, and that's going to be where we cut off your package. If you have all the X's all the way across, then you will be a package 4. So starting in fall 2021, you will officially be whatever that new package status is. So if you went from 1 to 3, you will get all the package 3 benefits starting in the fall. If you wait until after the deadline and we've already evaluated your status and we made a mistake or there was something wrong and you didn't tell us in advance, you will have to do a judicial appeal to have your package changed. If you need help, this is mine, Marlena, and Maya's email addresses. Feel free to shoot us a message. I do schedule one-on-one appointments with groups that need help with Tiger Stripes or or have challenges like developing a plan for completing the package requirements they're trying to do. So if you need help, you can definitely utilize that meeting with your SGA senator, but don't wait till the very end. If you need help, let us know. We're very approachable people. We want you to be successful. So anything you need, definitely let us know. And I will take questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen really quickly here because I want to share one other thing to show you the Tiger Stripes Google Doc. But if you have questions, you can, at this point, unmute yourself or put them into chat so I can answer your questions.
When you
Can you
hit
guys see this okay real quick? It's shown involved to you. Perfect. So if you come to involved it to you, and then it's involved.towson.edu up here, and then just scroll down to where it says Tiger Stripes Google Doc right here. If you click on it, it's going to bring you to, well, currently it's routing you to fall 2020, which is good for the example, but you'll want to make sure you're checking spring 2021. We'll have this rerouted to show here, but fall 2020, you can see organizations. I'll use Actors Anonymous as an example. They completed all X's across the whole column here. They received package 4. You know, if you only did the green, you will get package 1. So this is kind of how we go through and assign packages, but you can check this at any point of the semester. You can see Laura Dance team, they did up in the purple, they're package 3. So this is how we go ahead and track every group's status. All right. Let me go. Oh, Stephen asked, all right, let me start with Allison. Yes, the presentation will 100% be emailed out, so you will have it. Stephen, yes, I can put the slide back up really quickly. And third, when will the Google Doc be updated for us to know? So we do it in real time or semi-real time for, you know, as things done. So for example, we're at the summit right now. Marlena's probably not going to start right after this to go put all the X's in. Like she's going to take probably the rest of her day off. But, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, when she has her hours, she will actually go through and update those. Same thing with when you complete, you know, post events on Involved It to you for credit, attend the town halls. We follow a similar process. How do you get to the Google Doc again? Great question. So come to Involved at TU. You can just Google this or come to involved.towson.edu. Scroll down the site, and it's the second link here, Tiger Stripes Google Doc. Does our advisor need to submit the advisor form for this semester? No. If you did the advisor form last semester, you were good. If multiple officers attend all 4 of the leadership meetings, will each officer receive the 50 Tiger points? Yes. For the leadership one, you will get 50 points per officer that does it. If you choose to do the other ones, leadership lunch or Tigers lead, it'll be 20 points per person. Stephen, I'm going to apologize to you. I will make sure if you email me, I can send you the slideshow right away, but I want to dismiss us back to the main session for the closing, just because I want to keep everybody else's time on track. Thank you guys so much for being here. I apologize for the technical issues earlier on. If you do need help, I'm putting my, I mean, most of you probably have my email, but putting my email in the chat. I'm sorry if I can't take more questions right now, but please email me directly. You know, we want you to be successful this semester. So go ahead and, you know, take care of whatever you need to do. Meet back in the main session. I'm going to hop over there right now. Double check your email because I don't know. I will put the link here in the chat just in case. But if it doesn't work, go to the email and then go back to the main session. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys over there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.